Good evening and welcome to Weatherfans Live here on Sunday, the 15th of September 24, with myself and Paul.
I'm back.
Hello, back.
Back after my 2 weeks of non-storm chasing.
You cloud chasing again?
Cloud chasing, yes, that's the one. I'm just trying to work out how to turn this up. There we go. That might help. Yeah, welcome everyone. Like I say, I'm back. Obviously, I was on Gav's stream earlier with Michael.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, it was quite an interesting look at the charts earlier with Gav. So we're going to continue that on with the hurricanes. Well, there might be potential for the week. Obviously, Michael's got the ECM and stuff like that. So we'll just go with the flow as we always do.
Yes. Just say hello to the people that's joined us this evening so far. We've got Rachel flying in on a nice yellow plushy soft magic carpet with my cuddly companion Pikachu. Bless you. Holding a magic lamp, which when rubbed, out pops a shiny glittery yellow genie.
Okay.
And obviously the banners have actually...
Just for Rachel.
Yeah.
Just for Rachel. Yeah.
Who else is with us? We've got
We're having
Suits
a random
with us
conversation on Gav's Discord last night.
Repeat that again, sorry.
I said evening suit. I was saying about the Discord on Gav's Discord last night. It got a little bit random, shall we say, with Rachel and a few others.
Like a normal night then.
Nothing new. But yeah, we've got
just a question for everybody. What you're munching on tonight? What you're drinking?
I've just got a cup of tea. I've had my dinner not long ago, chicken dinner.
I found myself some new biscuits.
Oh, all the ones from Marks, aren't they? Marks and Sparks.
No, they're the same.
Sorry.
Custard creams with a gingerbread filling.
I'll tell you what's out as well. Coca-Cola Jaffa cakes. They're in Aldi.
Yes, I had them about a month ago.
Yeah, they're in Aldi at the moment, apparently. I think I need to go get some of them.
They're all right, actually.
They're not overwhelming then. Just okay.
Just test that cola flavoured Jaffa cakes. This is exactly what it says on the tin.
Is everyone coming down with this cold or something?
My family's had it.
Yeah, I had it last week as well.
I think my body's fighting it.
Yeah, I was most of last week. Really, that's why I was really quiet last week. My body just caught up. Spent most of it either in bed or, at the doctor's getting medication. So I'm all right now. That's the main thing.
That's excellent. Good evening to Laura Johnson, who's with us this evening.
Evening, Laura. Nice choo-choo train there on the on your picture. I don't know what class it is.
It's a steam one.
Yeah, that'll do. Excuse me.
Good evening to Audio Coffee, who's joined us this evening.
Evening, Audio. Evening to James, who's just come in as well. James 098.
Sorry, Gavin says suit.
Suit. I just said suit.
Because Suit says, do you mean Coca-Cola Oreos? No, there is actually Jaffa cake.
Yeah, Coca-Cola Oreos.
Or is it cola bottles?
Yeah, cola bottles.
Cola bottles.
It's the Clun Castle, according to Laura.
Oh, I've seen Clun Castle a few times actually. She passes through the station quite a lot.
I say you're on the West Coast Main Line, so.
I think she's based near Birmingham. What's the name of that depot near Birmingham?
This Soho. Is it Soho Road?
No.
Are you on about Stourbridge down that way?
Not quite.
Is Kidderminster. Is it on that line?
No, it's just outside Birmingham, like south of Birmingham way.
Like towards Worcester. Tyseley.
No. It's literally just south of Birmingham. Tyseley, that's the one. I think it's based at Tyseley.
Yeah, Laura's just confirmed that. Evening, Paul.
Good evening to James, who's with us.
Yeah, Paul James.
Coca-Cola Jaffa cakes, not sure about them, but I wanted to give them a try though. They're all right. I said they're just Jaffa cakes tasting of cola.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's cola bottles, not Coca-Cola. Cola bottles.
Yeah, so I'll have that bit of a citrusy twist to it, that kick to it. I do like getting the ones from what they call it in Pontefract, Haribo. Love going there and getting me £5 bucket of sweets, random ones. Evening, Paul.
Evening, Paul.
Just waiting for your significant other to turn up.
Yep, based at Tilsley. That's the one. That was the one I was on about.
Yeah, I can't think. Yeah, Tyseley's over the far side of Birmingham. Well, not the far side, but just outside the town centre, city centre. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, welcome to the Train Channel, Train fans.
Thank you for choosing us.
Yes, that's a good one.
Bye-bye.
We'll be back later. Roll the credits. Hang on.
All right, then.
Shall I do that again, Michael? Yeah. Anyway.
No, thank you for choosing us. Thank you, sir. No.
We're around all week anyway. So yes. So what do people want to ask this like fair week? You know,
just bear with me a second.
Yeah. There was talk of the possibly an aurora happening either tonight or tomorrow. I was having a look just before I come on air actually at the latest, and a lot of the like the Americans and stuff like that are on about things. Oh, yep, I've seen them as well. Oh, they look lush. They do. You'll have to knock the thing off, Michael, because the background's overwhelming it. There we go. Gingerbread digestive.
Just gingerbread.
Chuffa choo choo. Danger
Not too
Mouse.
bad.
Oh,
I don't really taste it, but it's the aftertaste. You can actually feel it in your mouth afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, Danger Mouse chuffing, eh? Penfold. That's me. I'm sort of like a 6'6" version of Penfold. Oh, crumbs. Anyone remember the Raggy Dolls? That's one I always remember. Yes, Sue. The Aurora. I think I'm going to show it in a while. Yeah, good grief. I've got it up on my tabs, so we'll go through that. It's the Met Office one, so it's local to us rather than the Americans. Trying to think if there's anything else. So yeah, if anyone's Raggy Dolls, yes, sad sack. I'm more back to front though. I always say that.
Hello?
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 Hello? Yeah, so Paul's on about wagon wheels. They were intense a few nights back, and we're on about the Aurora now.
Oh, yes.
Not yet audio, but like I said, I'm going to come to that in a moment once we've got settled in. So around about 8:15, I'll start bringing in some of the extraordinary weather, shall we say. Possibly Tropical Storm Gordon. Unfortunately, he's back in Blackpool at the moment. So the gaffer. Well, I've had a look at the charts, and there's possibly, I don't think it's going to affect us. It might lose its identity, then reoccur. That makes sense. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Michael's got it here. Look, Tropical Storm Gordon.
So shall we get the tropics done out of the way?
Yeah, why not? I've got the models for Atlanticas already.
Yeah, let's start from the Pacific side first. Yeah. So Central Pacific, we have got nothing. Eastern Pacific, it's still there. We've got the remnants now of Elena.
Yeah.
Lena,
I would say.
Yeah, it was a tropical depression, but it's now post-tropical depression and going up through. Oh, I had it tip of my tongue then, that area of water between the Baja, California, and Mexico. But yeah, it's going up that water, going up there, but it's weakening as it does so. So I don't think there's any more. So we've got the wind history on that storm. So that was its track. It actually formed here and obviously just made its way towards the northeast. That's just a tropical storm. So it's a short-lived storm there. Where are we? I've lost my tab then. There we go. So yeah, that storm was just quite a short-lived one. I think it was only for a few days, that one. Just get back on that. Let's go back again. So there's nothing else to report from the Eastern Pacific. However, we've got a couple of things in the Atlantic. Firstly, we have got... Hang on, I need to get back here because I realised the more void clicked into this 2-day instead of the 7-day. There we go. Still the same 2. I need to bring the screen down there so I can actually read what it says. So offshore the southeastern US coast, a non-tropical low-pressure areas located along a frontal boundary a couple of 100 miles off the southeastern US coast, and is producing winds to gale force north of its center. The low is forecast to move westward or northward over the warm waters of the Gulf Stream towards the coast of North Carolina and South Carolina, and get my teeth in. It could become a subtropical or tropical storm during the next day or so if the associated front dissipates and showers of thunderstorm become significantly organized. An Air Force Hurricane Hunter aircraft is currently investigating the system. Regardless of tropical or subtropical developments, the low is likely to bring gusty winds, heavy rains, with the potential for some flash flooding, coastal flooding, and dangerous beach conditions to portions of the US southeast and mid-Atlantic coast during the next couple of days, and interest in these areas could monitor the system's progress. Additional information will be found in the products issued by your local National Weather Service forecast office and high seas forecast issued by the National Weather Service. And the formation chance in the next 48 hours and the next 7 days is at 50%. So, otherwise, it could go either way. So that could be named as a...
that will be Helena. I've already looked. I've actually got them up here on my screen. Yes, Helena, then Isaac will be the one after that.
Excellent. Just a quick hello to Ben Entry. He's just joined us.
In Steffi.
Oh, Steffi just joined us as well.
She has indeed.
Oh, she is there, just underneath there. Good evening, Steffi. You mentioned about the names. I think actually, did I save the names? Oh no, I've just saved the European storm. I've got the Met Office names for this year, so they're the storm names when I did it a couple of weeks ago. So that ready in the system. Oh goodness me, that's suddenly gone up then. Let's go back into the Atlantic. So let's have a look at our boss in the Central Atlantic. It's Tropical Storm Gordon. So what is Gordon doing?
Probably
not
nothing.
A great lot, to be honest.
Same with his storm chasing, bless him. Just milling about.
Yeah, nothing too much going on with Gordon.
No.
Maximum sustained winds of 40 miles an hour, moving west to southwest at 9 miles an hour. And it's forecast to be a tropical depression during this week, and he's not really going that far. So he could be still sitting there this time next week.
Yeah, I'll bring that up in a moment.
But likely, if it does move towards the north, it will start to strengthen once again. I've just got a feeling with this storm, it might just maybe dissipate a little bit before coming back to life again during the week.
I want to show that in a moment. That would then, if Helena doesn't come, then that would become Isaac, because it loses its identity and then reappears.
I think it'll keep its name because it'll be the Revenants, and it'll just keep its name.
I think if it dissipates beyond the storm, it will then have to be renamed, won't it? I don't know what the naming convention is, so...
No, I think if it's part of the same like the system, I think it will retain its name again.
We'll have to wait and see with that one.
Yes.
CME was a Halo CME, so it was face on trouble is they're traveling a spiral pattern. I will explain if Storm Chase Paul is okay about that. Yeah, just wait till we come to that, Steffi, and we'll go to that. I'll do that after Michael.
Yeah.
This. Yeah, you carry on, Michael. Carry on.
Yeah, I've more or less done with that now. There is extreme floods hit Eastern Europe. I have seen some pictures of that.
Shall we come to that
in a bit?
When we come to the main charts for Europe and the UK? Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff for that. So yeah,
for the
Atlantic GFS.
Repeat that again, sorry?
I said, shall I show the Atlantic GFS on Tropical Tidbits?
Yes, you can have a look at that.
And then I'll come into the space weather.
Yes, that's fine.
And then I can let Steffi come. If you want to, Steffi, we could bring you on. If Michael's okay with that. If you want to explain it on the stream, as you know, up to yourself. It's up to Michael.
I'm just trying to think how to do it. If you could send us a message.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'll let you monitor the chat and I will do this.
I can find a way to send her a link if she wants to come on screen.
Yeah, sure. Go there. Excellent. Oh, no, it's not Easter. Anyways, guys, here is the GFS. It's the up-to-date one as well, the 12Z. And as you can see, there's Gordon there, the 1006 millibar low, just milling about. As we were saying, is the remnants of what will be possibly Helena over here, just off the, I think it's Louisiana, or is it the Carolinas? Might be, no, it's the Carolinas, isn't it?
Yes, Louisiana is in the Gulf.
Yeah, it's down there. I get them all confused. I've got a brain like a sieve, but hey ho. Anyway, as we were, there's another one here, 1007, which hasn't been identified. Let's just continue on into Tuesday. So the possible remnants of Helena, if it gets named, are now well inland, possibly bringing some flooding rain across the Carolinas. We've got Gordon here still wandering around in the Atlantic. Got a low, but this is probably going to go northeastwards because we've got high pressure dominant at the moment. After today's rain, because it has been raining pretty much all day here. It's cleared up in the last couple of hours, but for most of the morning and afternoon, it has been raining here in Yorkshire. So this is midnight Wednesday. Got that low I was talking about now moving off towards Iceland. Another low right behind it. Ridge of high pressure moving out into the Atlantic. Remnants, well, yeah, there will be pretty much the remnants of Gordon still milling about in the Atlantic. Looks like that could be Helena again there, just off the coast of, I think it's North Carolina. That moves back out. So this is Wednesday, now Thursday. Looks like Gordon's still knocking around in the Atlantic, in like the mid-Atlantic. It's low here, ridge moving out into the Atlantic. We've got a Biscuit, well, not Bay Biscuit, it's an Iberian low, isn't it? Just off the coast of Iberia. Got another potent low up here. But as I was saying, the high pressure is going to become dominant this week. So these lows are very unlikely to reach us with a easterly wind, but that is not going to be a cold easterly. It'll be the remnants of what's across in Europe at the moment in terms of heat will be getting pushed out towards us. So it's not going to be a cold week like it was the week previous, where temperatures were barely into the teens. We've got our first cold, sharp shock of the autumn. Anyway, this is Friday. You've got this low here, the remnants of Gordon. Then you've got this one just outside of Greenland with a daughter low there. Another low breeding there could be. I think there's going to be some potential storms across the plains and like across the north as well this week. Be worth checking out our American cousins, like Ryan Hall, Max Velocity, them kind of people. They do the forecast for the storms over there in America. And that low then starts moving up towards Newfoundland. Still got the remnants of Gordon there. But as you can see, there's another one just starting to breed, starting to become more. But yeah, that, like Michael said, that could be one and the same because it's in the same system. So it's quite possible that could then become Gordon and re-intensify. Worth keeping an eye on. Like I said, it could be then this time next week. It's forecast to be somewhere between Florida, which is over here, and Strait of Gibraltar, which is there. It'd be right in the middle of the Atlantic, and it's very warm at the moment there, so it's got plenty to be feeding off. Now, will this possibly be Gordon, tropical storm, maybe even heading up towards hurricane or extratropical anyway? Let's have a look. Will that join with that low further up?
Sorry, Paul.
Sorry, mate.
Paul,
Hit it.
I need to do something.
Hit the sirens. Evening, Gav.
It's Gav. Good evening, weather fans. Good evening, everyone. What an epic live stream Gav's Weather Bits had tonight. Yes, over
You did call us storm chasers at one point. I think it's because he saw my name, bless. I did correct him in the comments, but yeah. Yes, thanks, Gav. Yeah, it was really great live stream. 115 concurrent viewers at one point. Very good. So let's crack on with this anyway. So yeah, this looks like it could become a hurricane. If I can zoom in. Can I zoom in? I don't know. So yeah, this is, you can see there, very tightly packed. So that could become a hurricane. What's your thoughts, Michael?
Oh, sorry, mate. I'm just trying to sort some out here. Just bear with me.
I'll just hold it there anyway. So this is this time next week. This is this time next week. And that's the possibility that could become Hurricane Gordon. I'll just get your views on it.
Sorry, mate. Just bear me a couple of seconds. I'm just trying to sort this thing with Steffi out.
No, it's okay, mate. It's okay. Not to worry, Gav. What do you think, Gav, with this? If I've been looking at this, this one here, possibility it could become Hurricane Gordon if I just rock it back. Because there's the remnants of Gordon there. And then this one starts spawning. So if I move it forward, then it starts moving up into the Atlantic, possibly on the jet stream on the warm side, I would imagine. Moving up there. So, this is this time next week. Fair play, Gav, fair play. I did wonder when Giddy Gav would come out as well. The magic water addled brain strikes again. No worries, my friend, you deserve it. So yeah, anyway, I'll carry on while Michael's sorting that out.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Just bear with me a second.
Oh, no rush. So yeah, what I believe will become Hurricane Gordon or Elena or Isaac, depends on what the naming convention is. Really winds itself up, as you can see there. I would imagine it looks extra tropical at that point. I might get merged into this. Let's see. So this is Monday of next week. Actually, that keeps its own identity. Right back here, another low forecast to be spawning just out of the Caribbean. There. Worth keeping an eye on that one as well. Yes, that's forecast as well to spawn. This one that was possibly Gordon just dies a death, according to the, and like around about Tuesday of next week, gets enveloped in this low here, with high pressure still quite dominant, I would imagine. It's low down here in Spain. Let's move that forward. Then another low spawn, another potent low as well. So we've got one over here and one over here, either side of this blocking high. See if they make their way towards us. See, high pressure is still dominant. And that's nearly 2 weeks away. Get to 2 weeks. So there's 2 weeks, and it's forecasting for lows to try and bombard us with that high just off to the east here. So as Gav was saying in history, we've got southwesterlies coming in. Whereas most of next week, let's go right back. So we'll skip past all that. So we've got high pressure up here, retrogressing. So even I can't roll my R's, Gav. Retrogressing.
Retrogression.
That's the one. So yeah, the low up here. I'll just move that across actually to Northern Europe. There's Europe. Brilliant. I'll have a look at that. So yeah, as you can see there, Siberian, Scandinavian high, long fetch easterly. If that was in the winter, we're looking at a beast, I would imagine.
To be honest with you, Paul, looking at that, if you look at where the easterly winds coming from, they're coming to more Central Europe, where all that rain
is. Where all the warmth is.
If it was middle of winter, the more of a, it's not going to be quite as sad Siberia.
Yeah, it won't be beast. It'd be, I mean, it depends how far back it is coming from here. Really, we'd want it coming from up here, wouldn't we? Up in this top left corner.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right corner, sorry. And then
no. So I'm back. I'm more or less back into the full. I've actually got a special guest, which we'll bring on in just a moment.
Yeah.
If you can hear me, Steffi, I can see you. You'll be in just a few moments.
Yep. So I'll just finish up here, and then I will bring on the space weather. So yeah, as you can see, high pressure dominant. This is Thursday of this week coming. High pressure dominant. A little bit of possible thundery rain there. Next weekend, low spawning there. Now just dies a death. Then we've got southerlies, possibly.
Northeasterlies.
Northeasterly, sorry.
Yeah.
I get confused sometimes.
Clockwise around an area of high pressure.
Yeah, it goes that way, doesn't it? It goes clockwise.
Yeah.
It's just I'm used to seeing lows out in the Atlantic, not that high. So yeah, that could be it won't be that cold. Then we've got the remnants of Gordon here. Coming towards us. There's another low, and then yeah, that's pretty much the end of the run. So it's typical GFS, really. Return to low pressure at the end of the run. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do have quite a sustained period of high pressure, at least for the next 10 days.
With the way the long-range models are showing for the next 10 months, I think.
Brilliant. We don't want hot, though. We want cool. We want nice.
It depends where your high pressure's sitting. It could be the worst case scenario where if it's sitting in the Atlantic, you're going to get what I call a dirty high, where you're just going to get clouds stuck underneath it.
Yep, right. Here we go.
Shall I bring our special guest in?
Why not? Ladies and gentlemen, Steffi Adcock.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
absolutely perfect.
Oh, excellent. Right. I've done the right thing this time, because last time is that when I did a live stream with Gav will remember, I still had YouTube open and I had a delayed echo and it was really hard and I didn't know what to do.
The echo.
You come out very clearly.
Yeah, brilliant.
I've got some books here. Let's have a look.
Ooh. There we go, guys.
It's an Open University book, so that's second year university.
Crikey.
And this one.
Sun and the Stars. Brilliant.
So that's just 2 of the books of the astrophysics course that I took.
Blooming heck. Oh, everyone's getting excited in the comments.
This is getting well out of my comfort zone here.
Oh, yes. Gav said hi as well.
Oh, I was going to say, because I'm on this funny thing of yours. I can't see YouTube.
If you just mute it, you can see it then.
Oh, yes, I've muted it.
That's why I've done it on my phone.
I'm looking at a picture of myself. Hang on, let me go.
I'll take a full solo.
Full solo, did you say?
Yeah, I do on full screen.
Yeah.
Right.
Rightio. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Gav. Hi, Lee. Hello, James. Hello,
Hi,
Laura. Hi, Matthew. Who have I missed? And
Right, Paul, we're going now. We'll leave it to
lovely,
it.
wonderful, snuggly Paul James, who should be getting ready for bed, shouldn't you?
Oh, no. The webcam decided to go on one. There we go.
He has an early start.
Damn it.
And hello there, Audio Coffee. I feel your pain. My hot flush went a couple of minutes ago. No doubt I will have another one before the stream's finished. Good evening there, Ben NT.
Right, Paul, we're off now. We'll leave Steph to it.
We'll just leave it to
Oh, you're kidding, right?
No.
Right, it's good night from me and Paul. We'll leave Steph to it.
Everyone's
Do you know,
going
last
Suits
week,
have said, I don't think Paul would publicly show his face.
wouldn't he?
Why not? I just don't like being on
Paul
camera.
James said he looks like Shrek.
I'm not a camera person.
Do you know,
Welcome
I
to the
wouldn't
studio
consider
slash bedroom with,
myself particularly photogenic, which is why I tend to talk rather than just, sit and look pretty.
Yeah, I'm the same. Right. So yeah, we're talking about the solar weather.
Yes.
Space weather. I have.
Because I came onto the stream late. When I logged in, I saw you, Paul, answering suit with regards to. Oh, hold on. So my answer suit with regards to the latest CME from this massive X flare that we had yesterday. It was a 4.4, wasn't it?
It was an X 4.5 or 4.6. I think it's been upgraded to.
Oh, and of course, I can't remember if there was one bigger or if that is the biggest, but it's certainly up there with them.
One of the bigger ones.
Yeah. And of course, when I checked some of the details, it said it was a Halo CME.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not quite sure if people know what a Halo CME is. If they don't, I can describe it.
You want to share that with us, by all means, do. So Connoisseur is the 5th largest.
Oh, it's the 5th largest, is it?
Yeah. I think it was on par with the one that we had back in May, like a Pringav's thing. And also,
now, you know what? Because you've got me on camera, I can get my whiteboard and pens, which is what I do in the classroom.
We're going full classroom here on this Sunday night.
Yeah. You do.
Why not?
Don't do anything by heart when you get me going. That's like, poor old Paul gets his ears chewed off by science. He really does.
Bless him.
And my kids are just used to it now, actually. So, right. Sun, planet Earth. Okay. So, oh dear, that looks a bit funny. If I do it more like that. Oh, you boys, you are just you know, you're going to take the mickey out of this drawing. So if I do that, right, okay.
I'm well up my depth here.
There we go, right. So the Earth looks, sun looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
All behave.
And is where Dr. Robotnik is on the mushroom planet.
These are solar flares.
Yep.
And what they do is they join one part of a sunspot to another.
Mm-hmm.
So one is magnetic north, the other is magnetic south. Now, sometimes these can get tangled up. And if anybody's actually followed the lesson that I've put on Space Weather on Gav's Discord channel, then you'll see what I mean. It's when these interact, they're too close together, and you know what it's like when you get like poles that repel.
Mm-hmm.
That the power that the energy that they give off throws them apart, and they crash into other parts. And if you then get enough power in a flare system like that, it will go bang.
Mm-hmm.
The energy that it gives off, you can see it's electromagnetic energy. Now, from a basic point of view, we have electromagnetic energy all around us. The ones that we can see is visible light. But of course, that's bang in the middle. This energy is so far over to one side, it's in the X-ray. So you're all familiar with the power of an X-ray in a hospital. Well, imagine the sun flaring off all of this X-ray energy. And we can actually detect that. And when we do see those bright X-ray and ultraviolet flares, that's what we call a solar flare. So, of course, the energy from this solar flare, if those particles that are going round this solar flare have enough energy to overcome the gravitational pull of the sun, they are flung out into space. They will then follow what's known as the Parker spiral, which is why just because you see a solar flare full on, which is what we've got, a halo CME, we saw it full on, it spirals out. And the best way to imagine the spiral effect of this Parker spiral is in fireworks, Catherine wheel. Do you remember the Catherine wheels going round and round, and they swirl outwards? So that energy is following a spiral. So just because we see it head on, it won't necessarily hit us head on, because it's going to spiral round the orbit of the solar system. And of course, I think you, Paul, did you say that it's going to hit America?
I believe so, yeah. So I watched something on YouTube just before I come on here.
I haven't checked all the details. I just got the information that I found on, it was Space Weather Live, actually, confirmed that it will give us a glancing blow.
Yes.
Nevertheless, one that powerful, and it's a fast-moving one as well. That's the other thing. When a CME arrives and hits our magnetic field, what essentially happens is, if I then draw our electromagnetic field, or magnetic field, I should say, and then I'll do the magnetopause out that side.
Positive at one side, negative at the other, and all that business. Yep.
There.
So
Now, depending on the charge of these particles that have been flung out here, so these will come this way, and they go round our magnetic field like that. And that's known as a bow shock. Now, they will happily go all the way round. Some of them, though, if they have enough energy and meet just here, that's known as magnetic reconnection. If they meet there, the energy rebounds on itself, shoots straight back in, and comes straight in at the North Pole and the South Pole, and that's when we see an aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the speed that they come from the sun, again, is dependent on the energy that it was flung out into space with. So a slower CME has less power to reconnect at the back.
Mm-hmm.
A faster CME has more power.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it depends. These particles here, if they are positive, that's bad news, because a positive cannot get in a positive. So it takes something bigger than a Carrington event, I think, to overcome the repulsion of positive when it hits positive, so actually have an effect. But if these particles are negative, because they meet a positive, as you know, opposite poles, magnetic poles attract, they will shoot straight in, and they have an attractive force. So along with the speed and the attractive magnetic force, that can spark off a massive storm. So it depends on the magnetic polarity, the speed of the particles, and how many. So if this solar flare just only has enough energy to fling off a little bit, yes, that will come over and tickle our magnetic field, and the poles will have a pretty glow. And lovely James in Scotland, chances are he'll be the only lucky one amongst us that will see anything. But of course, if there's more, then the chances are it will be big enough to come down at the slightly lower latitudes.
Yeah, I was looking on the Met Office just before I come on air, and they were saying it could get down to Northern England, but the majority of it will be seen.
I was going to, it's suggested, what was it, a G3?
Coming in at a G3.
Yeah, which probably could get to Northern England. Yeah, we need a G4 down where I am in the Midlands and below.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at space weather as well, Michael.
Yeah, I've got it on the screen there.
Have I sent everybody to sleep yet?
No, everyone's actually listening, Steffi.
Right, okay.
James 098 said, well explained, Steffi. Lee's just gone.
In that case, I'll put my teacher hat on then and say, right, can you tell me the 3 factors that determine if we'll get an aurora? What were the 3 factors?
Put them in the comments, guys.
Come on, you're in my classroom now.
Right next to me.
Seriously, I'm at my depth here. I'm like, space weather, I don't really know anything about.
I know, but I'm not going to say.
Talk to me about thunderstorms, space weather, you must well talking Chinese.
Talk to me about these things here.
Hold that thought, Michael, because storms are generated by the speed of the particles going up and down. Yeah, speed and how many? Well done, Rachel. That's 2. There's 1 more.
Yeah.
The very, very important one.
I'll just give it away. Well, it's going to affect this as well. That's the thing.
Nice try. So it's not negative energy. It's negatively negative pole, as in South Pole. Yeah, negative pole. Yeah,
the polarity and how.
That's right. It's the polarity.
Negatively charged. Froglegs just said, "I'll leave it to you, Paul." Yeah. How fast coming at us and how positively or negatively charged they are.
That's right. It's why I generally sort of summarize it as orientation.
Yeah.
So how fast, how many, how orientated.
Yeah. And going to the radios, when we had the aurora on Thursday, I think it was.
Yeah.
I was watching us one of the ham streamers, DX Commander is called. He's in Warwickshire. He was getting a lot of backscatter from the aurora. So as it was going up to the ionosphere, he was just getting it returning back to him. So he was hearing his voice with delay.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'll have to put it up somewhere. I'll find it when I come off the stream. But yeah, listening to that was interesting because that's the first time I've actually heard like an auroral backscatter.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what it sounds like. But then I was gonna say I'm not a ham radio expert like you.
No, like I'm getting an antenna installed actually tomorrow, so I'll be able to like operate properly. Except for like these little dinky things, my little 270 transceivers. I'll be able to listen to HF properly, so I'll be able to hear all the auroral backscatter and whatnot. But yeah, this is the thing Michael showing us now.
Right. The picture that you can see, the CME that's coming off is to one side. So that's not a halo CME.
No. Well, that's the one that's possibly going to hit us tomorrow. Well, early tomorrow. There you go. During the second half of the 15th, so 16th.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one that's going to give us a glancing blow tomorrow.
Oh,
but later on in that, there was that big, like, throw off to the side, but there was one at the bottom as well, what spun out just not long after that.
Oh, they do have, yes, one can, like a domino effect, if you've got more than one active, or active sunspot region. And Gav did say in his Sunday, winter update, solar activity is high at the moment because I can't remember how many sunspots that they've got an unstable magnetic field. Yeah. So if you've got one that pops off, it's a bit like trying to keep groups of riotous kids apart. If one kicks off, it can upset another one.
Domino effect, and
that's right.
Affects another region in that thing. So like you can see there, that Michael's showing two little sunspots just there to the left.
Yes.
Which are coming back into view.
Yeah.
We've been out of the sunspots for a little bit now. Now the sun's sort of like we're rotating back into the sunspot fields. As you can see, there's quite a few. Proglegs has asked, will it affect the TV? The answer to that is no.
No, because these are particles. Yeah, this is where a lot of people get confused. The difference between wave energy and particle energy. So the only time it would have affected the TV is if any flare energy got through, but that does it gets absorbed by the ionosphere. The TVs actually communicate with the satellite via microwave, which, if you remember from your electromagnetic spectrum, if I just do that, it's down the other end, microwave.
But from what I believe, if you've got Sky or stuff like that, it runs, I think, around about 12 gigahertz, and it's a very, very narrow beam. I know my stuff. And it can get affected because you can get satellite drag and stuff like that.
Oh yes, there's a lot of satellite drag now. We're at solar maximum because what it does is the energy heats up the ionosphere, and the ionosphere expands, and so it actually envelops all of the satellites that are orbiting it there at the time. And it gets a lot of satellite drag. If I remember right, last year our astronomy club covered this as well. The SpaceX lost 24 satellites when a flare went off because the energy that expanded the ionosphere at the time, it threw off the orbit of 24 satellites, and they crashed down into the ocean as a result.
Blimey.
I've got no pity for Elon Musk anyway. I'll let him hear me say that.
Ben's asking about a supermoon.
Yes.
Are we getting a supermoon? We've had a supermoon. It's very much a misnomer. Does anybody know what a supermoon actually is?
It is when it's nearer to us and it's more bigger, isn't it?
Perigee as opposed to apogee,
Yeah.
yes.
It's about 30% bigger than normal.
Crikey, it wouldn't be 30, no.
13 more like.
Well, the one.
It's
30% brighter.
around
But
about,
no.
it's in the tens anyway.
Yes. The moon at the moment looks very big.
It's probably is it lower
Yeah,
now?
the moon's only just rising, isn't it, Ben? I haven't checked recently, but I'm pretty sure we're only at moonrise at the moment.
Yeah, when people turn into werewolves. When you get a full moon in a month.
Right, that's a blue moon.
Yeah, once in a blue moon.
Yes.
That's when the plane comes from one blue moon.
Okay, right. Here comes your next diagram then. So here's
We're getting Venn diagrams as well.
do we get what? Sorry.
Oh, we're getting Venn diagrams as well.
Give me half a chance. I probably won't. You're right, Laura. If you've got a big moon at sunrise, that is actually an optical illusion. If I'm going to do an exaggerated one here, because then oh no, that's not very good. All right, let's do. There we go. Let's try this pen. That might work better. Right. So planet Earth in the middle here. And I've got two positions. The moon obviously orbits around us. And I've exaggerated the elliptical shape there to give you a better idea of what's going on. So when the moon is over here in its orbit and you get a full moon, it looks pretty much the same size all the time. Yes, the moon does affect the oceans. It affects how high your high tide is, depending on where it is in the orbit. So
just a thing. Good night to James, who's leaving us. He says, "Thank you, Steffi. We'll catch up on the stream later." Thank you to James, who's leaving.
Oh, you're welcome, James. Night. So if you got a full moon there, that would give you a spring tide. Very, very high tide. So here would give you a super moon, as opposed to the full moon over here, where it just looks a standard size. So yes, Sue, that's right. So it's when the moon is very slightly closer to Earth, and because of that, as you know, you see somebody down the road, they look a lot smaller than if you were looking at them face to face. That's all it is. That's all a supermoon is. And it happens every so often, once or twice a year, maybe. So there's no massive phenomena. It's just that people, because it's been named supermoon, it sounds almost extraterrestrial and sensational. So people tend to big it up into something, that unnecessary. So basically, it's just a full moon when the orbit of the moon is closer to the Earth, and the closest the technical name is, as you say, perigee. So perigee is when it's close to the Earth. Apogee is when it's furthest away. And also the moon is moving away from Earth. It's moving away at, I think it's 4 millimeters per year. We have actually got a mirror on the Earth that we try and detect every day. And we send a beam to the mirror and time how long it takes to come back. And that's how they actually measure how long it takes. And they can actually identify that very, very slightly the moon is moving away, but it wouldn't be noticeable in our lifetimes.
Just a quick thing. Gav is leaving. It says, "Great job, guys. Going to do the 6 a.m. forecast done and start to settle down. Having a great night, guys." Thank you so much, Gav, for joining us.
As I hope I haven't detracted away from all the weather stuff you guys are doing.
No, that's fine. Is it true that we've actually got 2 moons?
No, definitely not.
It's something I heard on QI because I started watching the old episodes of QI from like 2003 and mentioned that technically I think the Earth has 2 moons.
Goodness me. What's it calling technical?
I'm going to look into that. Just bear with me a second.
I was going to say, because given that our moon is one of the 8 biggest moons in the solar system, you'd be hard pushed to have a second moon orbiting Earth without us noticing it. There would definitely be an orbital interaction, and there isn't. Now then, when we were forming, a dwarf planet crashed into us. That you probably know the story. A dwarf planet called Theia crashed into us. Most of the molten material coalesced with Earth, and what was left that was flung out orbited planet Earth, and that coalesced together to form our moon. But the only planet that's got 2 moons at the moment is Mars, which is Phobos and Deimos. They're actually captured asteroids from the asteroid belt. Yes, Suit. Mercury and Venus don't have any moons. We have just 1. Mars has 2. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune have gazillions of moons. And even the dwarf planets have moons. Do full moon affect volcanoes? No. That comes up an awful lot on. There's a professor that both Paul and I follow actually, and a lot of people ask about volcanic eruptions at full moons. The issue there is the ocean, which we obviously know that the moon affects our oceans because the oceans are very, very fluid. So the gravitational effect of the moon is strong enough to actually move the water slightly. Hence, you get your high and low tides. But the moon itself is not strong enough to actually pull at rock, which essentially is what volcanoes are.
That was actually mentioned on the first series of QI. I don't know how you pronounce that name.
Cruithne
or something.
It was actually, as I was mentioned, like on Series A of QI. Because I started watching them, I was like, oh. So, let me bring that onto the screen. Actually, I've got. Hang on, I've shared that tab.
The Q-type Ayrton asteroid in orbit around the Sun in a 1-1 orbital resonance with Earth. There we go. Reading the same thing I'm reading. Right.
Yeah, I have to agree with all your cover there. You really need to your own Spaces channel.
I'll have to bring you on more often, Steffi.
Yeah, I think I'm glad to agree with you there, Paul.
Yeah. Welcome to the Weather Fans team. as a guest, like Gav.
Oh, I was going to say, because I don't know enough about weather to...
No, but when it comes to stuff like this, where it needs that bit more explanation.
Oh, I see.
I'll tell you what, I think you and Liz will get on like a house on fire.
Yes.
Give them
I know Liz at the minute is doing a spookies at the moment.
Yeah.
Ben's asked a question. When we get close to the sun, how come it doesn't feel warm? Ben, do you mean as in high up in the atmosphere?
I was going to say that's all down to thermal. And
Yes, it
sometimes
is.
when you're near a fire, it isn't warm.
Or it's more to do with the fact that it's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even though we're away from Earth, and so technically we're closer to the sun, if you think about it from a perspective point of view, you've moved the distance of the width of a hair in the grand scheme of things in regarding distance to the sun. The distance from Earth to sun is 1 astronomical unit, which is, I can't remember the exact value. I'm sure you can Google it. It's several 100,000 kilometers, I think.
Mm.
So just by moving up a mountain, if it were closer to the sun, from our perspective, yes, we've moved closer to the sun. But in the grand scheme of things, if you scale it down, you've actually moved the equivalent of the width of a hair. So hence, it wouldn't make any difference. I don't know if that helps to answer your question. If it doesn't, let me know, Ben, and I'll have a look, see what it is that you need to know.
Sorry, I'm looking through the tabs at the minute. I'm just trying to find.
I know, I've
what's
just
on the screen.
closed a few of my tabs down. I was just having a nosy on Facebook, see what people are saying.
I'm just.
Who are you?
Let's bring that back up onto the screen. I think, yeah. It helps if I put my tab back up. Does anyone else have any questions for Steffi regarding space?
May as well make use while she's here.
What was that, Paul?
They may as well make use of you while you're here.
Oh, yeah.
Special guest down here in my screen anyway.
But we have tilted, and July we are far away. Oh, okay, right. Yes, I know what that is. Where are we?
Whiteboard's out.
Loads of radiation from the sun that gets stronger closer you get. Yeah, it's angle. Yeah. So if I put the sun in the middle, and if we put planet Earth over there and over there, so if we do there and there, this is another really bad drawing. Okay. On the 4th of January, I think it is, our orbit is there. We're closest approach. But as you know, that's the middle of our winter, which means northern hemisphere is tilted away, southern hemisphere summer, which is why southern hemisphere gets hotter summers than northern hemisphere.
I think I've heard about that.
Whereas 4th of July, we're over here. 4th of July is our summer. So although we're tilted towards the sun, we're further away. So our summers are cooler than the southern hemisphere.
Probably explains why Australia seems to be getting hotter and hotter, but it's because we're closest.
It's the elliptical approach as well, because we're on an ellipses, aren't we?
That's right, yes. This is a very exaggerated one, but yes.
We're further away in the ellipses when it's our summer than what, like you said, what Australia are in our winter, in their summer.
So we're at equinox. We're coming up to equinox at the moment, so we're here, but we're heading for that one. And of course, that is known as aphelion, and this is perihelion. And thanks, Paul. So closest distance is 91.5 million. Furthest away is 94 million. And that number there, they take an average of the two. so about 92.5 million miles, is known as 1 astronomical unit.
There you go. Australia.
Yeah, northern hemisphere land warms up quicker because land absorbs heat very quick because it has a low specific heat capacity.
Why are the word capacitance?
Water has a very, very high specific heat capacity, which is why the oceans don't heat up or cool down by very much. So a temperature anomaly in the oceans of 1 degree centigrade is an awful lot of energy. Whereas 1 degree on land is far, far less energy. So, of course, it heats up and cools down much, much quicker in the northern hemisphere than the southern hemisphere, as Paul says, because there's more land in the northern hemisphere. And that's what makes northern hemisphere winters more volatile than a southern hemisphere one.
Yep. So I don't mind me. I'm just having a look through my book. I'm having a look through one of my ham radio training books, all about capacitance and stuff like that. So oceans take longer to heat up. Yeah, because of the dense, how deep they are and stuff like that. And like Rachel said, the bottom of the ocean is cold. That's because it hasn't.
The bottom of the ocean is approximately 4 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, those of you again who have looked at my oceanography lessons, I haven't put them all up yet. I haven't had time to post them, but you obviously know, certainly Ben does, that the ocean is in layers. And whenever Gav does his information regarding sea surface temperatures, what he's talking about is that tiny, thin 1 kilometer layer across the top of the ocean. And underneath it, there are 3 or 4 layers. And the bottom one is Antarctic bottom water, right at the bottom. Antarctic bottom water. And then you get North Atlantic deep water that's just above it. And then you get mid ocean. I think there's another one, and then you get your sea surface on the top. And that sea surface, although it doesn't mix with the other layers, the depth of that sea surface can vary depending on where you are on the globe.
Mm-hmm.
So the ENSO that you get across the Pacific Ocean, what essentially is happening there is this 1 kilometer thick sea surface. People probably know it as the thermocline. Now, if those trade winds brush the top of the water away from the ocean, so if you've got a strong trade wind that's actually brushing that water away, what you're actually doing is brushing away some of that top layer. So you're making the thermocline very, very thin. That allows upwelling of deep water, which will be cold. What do you get when you get cold water coming up?
El Nino.
La Nina.
Yeah, had to think.
Yes. Yes. So then when the trade winds slow down, it will become neutral because there's always a little bit of scraping. But then when they either completely disappear or reverse, there's no movement whatsoever. So the heat stays there and builds up. So this thermocline layer gets up to full thickness and no cold water can come up whatsoever. So if it's anomalously hot, what do you get?
El Nino.
El Nino.
Well done, you can have a gold star, Paul.
Thank you.
The strength of La Nina is struggling this year. Yes, it is, Adam. It is still there. It's just quite weak. That's very kind of you to say, Ben. Great teacher. I must admit, I was covering a geography class last week, and year 10's geography is clearly an option with them. The teacher came in to me, said, "Oh, I've not done all the lesson plan, but here's the booklet of the bits and pieces that they're covering. I'll give you some information." Well, I took one look and I said, "Oh, that's okay. I can do this off the top of my head." It was meteorology. These year 10s, they came in. There was a couple of, and I need to be careful here because I'm live. Shall we say?
It's after 9 o'clock. Don't worry.
It's after 9 now.
Little munchkins.
That's too polite.
Pains in the butt.
Nevertheless, the rest of them look and says, "Oh, supply teacher." Well, I happened to ask them, "Right then, what's a Hadley cell?" And they were scrabbling through and decided to quote something at me because obviously they'd written a quotation down, hadn't they? And I said, "Right, what does that mean?" And they said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Right, listen." And so they got a full-on lecture of the Hadley cell, the Ferrel cell, which is obviously what we're under for the zonal westerlies, and then the polar cell. So Hadley cell and polar cell, they're your easterly trade winds, and your Ferrel cell is your zonal westerlies. And then, of course, one of the others in there was the troposphere. So I said, "Right, where does the weather happen?" They said, "Atmosphere." And I said, "Which bit?" And they said, "Dunno, atmosphere." And I said, "What? Don't you know the layers of the atmosphere?" They looked at me and said, "No." So I said, "Right, watch and listen." So these year 10s, it was really quite interesting. They sat very quiet and listened. There was a teaching assistant in there as well, and she happened to say something about, "So what's the difference between fork lightning and sheet lightning?" So then I gave a little lesson on electricity and how the different cell clouds generate. Some give you 50-50 cloud to ground and intra-cloud, whereas another one will give you 90-10. 90, most of it intra-cloud and just a little bit of cloud to ground. And it's really nice at the end of that. You hear kids saying thank you. I don't know how many teachers get that.
Because they've been taught something.
I do with people when they ask me questions and like I have to tell them, you know, how cloud to ground works and cloud to cloud works, and you know how Mammatus, you know, how Mammatus stuff like that. So it's just they're like, "Oh, I never knew that," and I'm like, "Wow, you know, I only took a level 3 meteorology, you know, the basics, and these kind of manuals." It's all right, mate. Yeah, leave me on there. It's all right.
It's all right. Wrong button.
There we go. But yeah, like me books for radio. This is the one I'm reading at the moment for my full license, and you get a lot more stuff with this. Just trying to find like you're on about the layers of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So if I can find that, I've got all these operating techniques. Propagation, there we go, 78.
Oh, you're all saying nice things. Thank you lot. You're very kind.
I know. We'll have to, like, I know we're going to do our meteorology things soon. We've been talking about it for months now, but we've just not had the time. It might be something that you could get involved with if you wanted, Steffi.
I don't mind, but I've only done first year university meteorology.
Anyway, so yeah, there we go. So these are the different layers in terms of hammer anyway. Let me see if I can get it well. So you've got your F layers, E layer, so for sporadic E, the D layer of the ionosphere.
Yes.
And you've got the Earth there. So
I bet that shows you the thermosphere as well, which is a mixture of the mesosphere and ionosphere, and puts the D, E, and F1 and F2 layers in. Is that right?
They come together at night.
Yes.
The F layers.
Yep, and they vary from solar maximum to solar minimum.
Correct. At the moment, radio is just pants because we keep getting hit by these CMEs.
Yes.
So you can see there, look. The F1 and F2 layer at between 200 kilometers and 300 to 400 are used in most long distance contact, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So there's a principle of radiation there, look. Just for you, Steffi. But, you know, it all comes into meteorology as well. That's one of the reasons why I find it so interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's the course I'm starting in October, my full license. So I'll go up from intermediate, which is that one. It's got some knowledge in it, but the full is really, really like full on, literally. So yeah, that's like I say.
Oh yes.
Hopefully we get on with our meteorology course in the winter when Liz has done with her spookies and Michael's got a bit more time on his hands, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's something we have been talking about for months now. And hopefully we can get on with that if we have Steffi involved there. We've got Michael's the layers of the atmosphere for us.
Yes, if I'm around, yeah.
Cool. So as you can see, they've got the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and the exosphere, which is like the very, very like top of the atmosphere.
Yeah, it tends to be a bit of a contentious issue. So I'm just going to move to the table and plug you in so that I don't run out of juice. Because you're pretty much in space by then anyway. And so you don't have particle interaction. So therefore, is it classed as an atmosphere? That's the issue up there. Yeah.
I think it's an atmosphere in a loose sense. Because, like you say, nothing happens there. Yes. It's a layer, still a protective layer of the Earth, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the class it as a sphere.
Yes. Yeah. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking what the distance up was. I knew it began with 1 anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, between 20 and 40 is where the F1 and F2 layers are. The E layer is in the troposphere, ionosphere.
Yes. Yeah, the D layer is the one in the mesosphere, yes.
So you got the F1, F2 there in the ionosphere and the thermosphere.
Yes.
Which, like I said, joined together at night, giving good long distance contacts. And you can also hear long distance, medium wave and long wave. Good evening to Amima, who's joined us.
Yeah. You see the letters as music notes. Oh, yeah. Where do aeroplanes fly?
In the sky.
Depends which direction. If they are going in the direction of the jet stream, they will try and fly in the tropopause to try and find the jet stream.
Yeah, the flight around about 40,000 feet.
Oh yeah. I'm hopeless at numbers.
It says in the troposphere, at the top of the troposphere.
Yes.
Just
like if you came to my school, I'd be very proud to see you. Thank you, Soot. If I did ever come to your school, I'd like to. I'd hope that you would make yourself known to me, but I doubt you live anywhere near Leicestershire. Thanks, Matthew.
Yeah, so I think we can definitely put this into fly.
Thanks, Audio Coffee.
Exactly, we need teachers that are more into it. More, my stepsister does teaching as well, and she loves it, but she finds it very challenging sometimes because people the teachers nowadays aren't as enthusiastic.
We are having issues with the curriculum. It's becoming too scripted. That's why I tend to have a bit more freedom as a supply teacher.
Yeah, that's what my sister is, a supply teacher.
In answer to Ben, no, it's not the tropopause. So it's right on the boundary of troposphere and stratosphere.
Adam's just mentioned something about the weather balloons that go up with the radiosondes.
Oh, yes.
That's what they are, Adam, the radiosondes. You can hear them,
Yeah.
I think, around about 400 megahertz, somewhere in that region. You can actually decrypt them as well, if you know how to. That's something I'll do for another time. That's me going into my ham radio stuff.
Yes, I was going to say you take the floor because
I'm not my ham radio. I do.
Yes,
It's my number one hobby with weather, very, very close. Like tide. I love the two as much as I do each other. Right. I think we can wrap it up from that. Are we going to finish off with the weather, Michael, or we pretty much covered that?
We'll probably do a quick one for the next.
Yeah, we've got
through for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
yes.
It's up to Steph if she wants to stay with us, or
I'll stay with you. It's just that I've got to stand up, so feel free to disconnect me and I'll go back into the chat.
That's up to you.
That's up to you. You can sit in the green room, and if you want, I can take you off the screen. It's entirely up to you.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Yeah, pop me back in the green room. Yes.
Yeah, and I can just pop you in if you want me to pop you in.
Yeah, if I happen to, want to say something.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just bring it on full screen. Ladies and gentlemen, there's Steffi.
Thank you.
Bye. See you in the comments.
Right,
yeah. I'll stick her in the green room so she can pop on if she wants to speak to us at the end after the live stream.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'll just stick her on the edge there so she can still sit in our green room.
Thank you, Steffi.
We'll quickly run through the charts for this coming week, Paul, I would say.
Yeah, let's go for it.
I've got so many tabs to close here at the minute.
I know, I've got a few myself. So yeah, I'll do I'm going to do the UKV quickly and then...
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
Oh, I'm about to shut off. Just wait for Paul to... there we go. I can add you onto the screen.
Brilliant.
I'm just going to shut some of these tabs.
So there we go, clearing up tonight. I actually forgot to mention there is a fog warning for... And quickly go to it. There we go. So there's this fog warning currently out for... Scroll it back. There we go. It's pretty much the Cheshire Gap across the west of the Pennines and down into the Cheshire Gap.
I think when I checked her up, it was from Preston southwards up to I think up to Telford. I think it was.
Yeah, it's from Preston all the way pretty much to Telford, Shrewsbury, probably maybe Wolverhampton. There's a very low Stafford. I would say there's the Wolverhamptons around here. So yeah, I'd say as far as Stafford. I'll come to that in a moment with the fog fraction. Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, the rain from today.
Ben's saying he's got fog right now.
Right. So yeah, that rain's cleared off. Obviously, the air's getting more warmer now, so that's going to condense, as you can see there on the west. Fog forming just around here during the night. So as you can see there, it becomes quite extensive, possibly down towards the Bristol Channel, but the densest will be, like I said, through the Cheshire Gap and up towards the Lancashire Plains as well, which is like Manchester, Preston, like Michael said, and all the industrial towns around there, like Wigan, Leigh, St Helens, them kind of areas. Could see some dense fog in the morning. So temperatures overnight, let's quickly go to that. Minimum temperatures under that fog around about 11 degrees, but elsewhere, as you can see, between 4 and 8, and under the cloud in the south, 13 to 14 degrees. I'll just quickly go to the fog fraction charts as well. Obviously, the darker it is, the more dense the fog. And you can see there, like I said, across the Lancashire Plains into the Cheshire Gap, possibly down towards the Malverns and the Chilterns, may see some fog as well. Around Birmingham, might see some mist. Also down there towards Dartmoor and Exmoor, sorry, could see some as well. Possibly over the valleys going in towards Carlisle. Say it's the Lune Valley, maybe going out there towards Solway, Firth, and some across Ireland as well. Just mainly light fog, which will probably burn off quite quickly. Right, let's go to this one. So, sorry guys, just drag it down. There we go. So yeah, that fog burns back to low cloud during the morning and then completely burns away. Got some high cirrusy cloud possible during tomorrow. Let's have a look at the temperature going approaching front here up in the north. Quickly go to the max. A reasonable day tomorrow, pretty much the same as today, really. A little bit cooler up in the north, 13 to 16. Ireland 18 to 20, possibly 15, 16 around the coast. England and Wales between 15 and 21 degrees, including Wales as well. Let's go back to the precip and cloud. See there the cloud coming back in tomorrow. Might be more fog, like I say, through Lancashire Plains down into Birmingham and possibly as far down as the south coast as well. All depends on how things pan out tomorrow. Then they've got wind moving up. We've got something moving up from the south. Oops. You can see here. That could be a bit of low cloud. That's tomorrow. Has it gone back to? Sorry, guys. Hang on. Why is this going? It's going the wrong gleaming way. There we go.
Just to say, Suit is leaving us. Thank you, Suit, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Sue.
Tomorrow, so thank you for joining us. Suit.
Yeah, have a good one tomorrow. Actually, the fog could get in across the Humber Estuary tomorrow. On Tuesday. As you can see there. So let's have a look at the fog fraction. Yeah, it could be a bit of mist. One said fog's under 200 meters, I believe. Yeah, could be some low cloud there across. I think cooler night as well, except in Scotland and Ireland, where it'll be in the double digits during Tuesday night. Across England and Wales into single digit, quite widespread, except for in the far southeast. Right, I'll quickly go into Tuesday, then I'll pass it to Michael. Finish off with. Oh, just don't want to play ball now. There we go. So Tuesday, once again, dominated by high pressure. Could be, like Michael calls it, a dirty high where cloud gets stuck under it at times. But at this time of year, the sun's still got a bit of kick to it. So it will help to burn it away, but not in all areas. I'll quickly go to the max. Yeah, warming up again, possibly with a bit of fern effect. 22 degrees in Scotland. Isolated 23, I won't rule out. Elsewhere, widely between 17 and 20, possibly the odd 21 here and there. Right, Michael, I'll let you take over, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just going to put my screen share on. Fact charts from the good old Met Office coming right up. And what we see here is now high pressure across the UK. However, we've had these weather fronts moving into this high, which has given us some rain across parts of northern England to the Midlands and currently pushing towards the southeast as I currently speak. As we head through into lunchtime tomorrow, that of rain just seems to weaken off, dissipate, and we've got high pressure building across the UK. Still going to have some legacy of cloud underneath that. But as that gets compressed by the high pressure, we should start seeing more way of sunshine. As we head through into midnight on Tuesday, high pressure is centered just off the Humber. Winds are starting to come in from the east to northeast. Coming into Tuesday itself, high pressure sat over the UK. Some weather fronts is affecting parts of Scotland. That could produce maybe a few light showers possible, but more legacy of clouds. Into Wednesday, high pressure in full control, sitting over towards Scandi, and we're bringing this long fetch easterly across the UK. Thankfully, it's not middle of winter. It's not giving us much cold at all. The mainland Europe is still fairly warm, but not hot, so temperatures will be around about what it should be for this time of year, around about the high teens, low 20s. That's a nice blocking air of high pressure, which we could have done really through the summer, but hey-ho, here we are in September.
That's it.
I'll quickly run through the 12Z of the GFS, then we'll run through the ECMWF12Z from weathercentral.d. So let's bring up the sea surface pressure charts. We'll quickly rattle through these over the next few days. Let's rattle through that. There we go. So as mentioned, we've got high pressure building across the UK. We'll just get rid of those weather fronts that affect us during today. They will get squeezed out by this high. Then high pressure builds in through this week. And excuse me while I do a gav cough. And is this showing that area of low pressure from the south? It does indeed through into next weekend. So as Gav mentioned in his live stream earlier on, it's kind of a repeat performance of what we had at the start of September. So potentially southern areas could see a lot of rain. We'll have a look at the jet stream, see if that's doing a similar thing to start of September.
I've actually found the ECM charts as well. I'll send you a link in a moment.
I've got the ECM ready.
Yeah, with the storm tracker Gordon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll send it across so you can put it on the thing. I'll put it in the green room chat. Bear with.
Yeah, so high pressure towards the start of next week. High pressure sits just to the west of the UK, bringing in a bit of a northeasterly there. Low pressure sits over towards Europe. Further southeast you are, more you've been affected by that low pressure. As I mentioned, high pressure just set out towards the west, keeping the west much dry, but we are under relatively cool northerly winds there. We'll have a look at the temperature in just a second. A little area of low pressure tries to move from the southwest, but then gets swallowed up by this other area of low pressure. So it looks like we're in a bit of a battle there between high pressure towards Central Europe and low pressure towards the Atlantic. And things seem to be getting a little bit stormy as we head to the start of October. So let's rewind that back and let's have a look at the jet stream, see what that is doing at the moment. We've got the jet stream right across the UK. That's probably the reason why we've had that bit of rain during today, because you've got high pressure aloft, and that's where we get that high pressure building across the UK. So this jet stream is actually really getting really elongated. It's literally going back on itself, then going through the Med. Could we see a bit of a spin up of a Medicane? Nothing showing there by the looks of it. So next weekend, we mentioned about that cutoff low. There's a little cutoff low there actually forming, not much of a jet stream at all. So yeah, we've got a bit of a split of the jet stream just there. We've got one southern branch going right across into parts of North Africa. We've got another branch going over towards Scandi. So a bit of a split jet stream there. Then towards the end of this run, looks like the jet stream is starting to get its act together. There's a bit of a powerful arm coming out of Greenland there into the Atlantic. That pushes that over towards Iberia. So potential breeding ground there for any low pressure systems in that trough. But we are talking about 2 weeks away. Quick look at the temperatures before I look at the ECMWF. Just flick through to tomorrow. Put that there. So quite pleasant tomorrow. Temperatures into the high teens, maybe low 20s towards the south east of the UK. Into Tuesday, again, we're looking high teens, low 20s. Some parts of Scotland there could be heading towards the mid 20s, which will be nice for this time of year. Coastal areas off the North Sea, with the wind coming in off the North Sea, we'll be feeling that a little bit cooler, perhaps the mid to low teens. Temperatures Wednesday, we're getting towards the mid 20s for parts of the southeast and parts of northern Scotland as well. Parts of northern England there, parts of Wales into the mid to high teens. Again, Thursday at the minute, we're looking temperatures up into the mid 20s, which is very pleasant. Friday again, we're still looking temperatures into the high teens, low 20s across the UK. So nothing as cold as it had been this week, but this week has been quite an exception.
Yeah.
It's almost like this past week is probably about as cold as you can get in September.
Made for some good cloudscape, so.
Yeah. Sunday the 22nd, potentially there, well, because you start to see some rain movement from the south. Defined line there of temperatures in barely getting into the teens there for parts of Wales, into southern counties there. And we'll just go up to the end of Monday. Then temperatures return back to more or less normal into the teens.
Yeah, I'm with frog legs on this comment. With the sun lower in the sky, not great for driving early or late. Definitely isn't. I know. Because I drive such a small, well, it's not a small car, but you know.
Thank you to Paul James, who's leaving us. He's going to bed. Mate. Thank you for joining us this evening, Paul.
Indeed.
You've been told off there by Steffi, you're late for bed.
Finger wagging. No, you must go to bed.
I could bring on the screen to finger wag you.
Yeah.
If you're still here.
If you're still there, I can bring you on and tell Paul off.
Yes, I'm still here. No, I couldn't tell him off. No, he has an incredibly early start in the morning, so by routine, he's usually in bed by now.
Yeah.
Hours early.
It's 4 o'clock. He gets up.
Crikey.
I thought I was bad enough. I start work at 7 myself, so I'm usually up about 5-ish.
Yeah. Steffi, tell him.
Go to bed.
Now look here, sweetie pie.
Go to bed.
You might be listening, but your eyes must be closed.
Yes. Good your lady tells you.
Right.
JL.
So you should be.
I am, mate. I don't know about you. I'm trembling as well. Lee ain't listening. Where's Lee?
Good evening to JL, who's just joined us.
JL.
Good evening, JL, down there in, I think you're in Portugal, aren't you, JL?
Ah, Bono Estente.
What Paul said. No idea.
No, I am just repeating what they said on the Fast Show. Ah, Bono Estente.
Scorgio.
Paul.
Yes, indeed, he's from Portugal.
Scorgio. Scarabedos. Scorgio.
JL, if you scroll back through the live chats, we had an interesting discussion on solar flares, if you're interested.
I'll watch back after we finish the stream.
Yeah.
Rachel's just put, I don't want to know what you do with Steffi, Paul. Nor do I either, but makes for
Nothing
interesting viewing
untoward.
after 9 o'clock.
Behave yourself, you lot.
I was going to say.
Behave, you lot.
Sorry, I'm on the screen sorting stuff out.
Right. Brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah, we're going to do that Mankini book calendar as well, if you remember from Discord.
Now, that would bring tears to your eyes.
That would, wouldn't it?
Bring tears to anybody's eyes.
Rachel says we have to have man bags and balaclavas to hide our identities. Look like a right bunches. Yeah, we're having that. We're doing that. We're having mankinis, yellow man bags, and balaclavas.
I feel a bit sick of
Anyway,
this.
just going into a totally different realm. Go on, Michael.
I feel a bit sick all of a sudden now.
Don't lie. Anyway, I'm just going to go get a drink back in 2 seconds.
Okay, I'm just going to rattle off, then we'll finish off in the next 5 minutes. I'm just going to put Steffi back in the room for a few minutes. I'll just put us back on there. So I'll put Steffi in the background, so there we go, take us off. So let's put the teeth back in and rattle through the ECMWF 12Z charts, as mentioned from Gav earlier on today. He couldn't put them on his live because they're uploaded after his live finished. So the ECMWF charts. Oh, what you doing? Freaking adverts. Bugger off.
Oh, yeah, get rid of them, Michael.
Yes, by burning my screen. Oh yeah. Perhaps if I click into DCMWF, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So yes, air of high pressure building over across the UK as we speak with the ECMWF. As we head into Tuesday, high pressure slap bang over the UK, but it then slides over towards the east, putting us into this easterly wind while my mouth decides to run away with me and stop speaking. Through into Wednesday, high pressure continues to move its way west. No, it doesn't move eastwards. Okay, I need to go to bed here myself. It's 9:45. So yeah, the high pressure moves towards the east of the UK. As we head through to the end of the week, so it stayed high and dry for this coming week. Low pressure starts to decrease towards the south, so risk of maybe some rain or showers towards southern areas as we're heading through into Saturday. Pressure slackening there, so potentially for some rain or showers again towards southern areas. That's my brain rattling you can hear in the background. Yeah. Go through into next Monday, days 8, and we're under a slack area of low pressure. So actually, we're still sat between low pressure and high pressure. So there could be some instability there, maybe some showers again. Through into days 9. Sorry, I've gone blank here. My brain's shutting down for the night here, so I'll just quickly go through this. We've got low pressure coming towards the southwest on freaking Laura. Shall we stop this now? Paul, help me.
It's all right. Steffi's going to do a live roll the credits tonight.
Yes.
So it's pretty much similar to the GFS in a way, isn't it? So
yes, low pressure moving in to start next week, but it looks of it on this.
You need some medication, Michael. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting. Hang on, let me come on screen. There we go. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting a bit delirious as well. So,
yeah. So quick summary. It's going to be after the rain we've had today. It's going to turn drier. Temperatures nicely into the high teens, low 20s across the UK. Some hints of a bit of low pressure movement from the south during the end of this week into next weekend, and some signs of the westerlies returning for the start of next week. But still a lot to play for. Still,
Play for it.
And-
That was my cup set.
repeat that. Oh, so what was that? Sorry.
That's what my cup says. Keep calm and carry on. Anyways, we're going to wrap it up there.
Yep.
Michael-
And if
Michael,
Steffi wants
me,
to chat to us in the
Thank you very much, everyone, for this evening. It's almost time for the bell to go for the end of the lesson. So all I can say now is good night, chaps, and roll the credits.
good night, everybody, and we'll wrong button.
Try
See
again,
you
Steph. Try,
next week.
press the button.
We'll press the button. We'll see Steffi in the green
Play
room.
again, Steph, quick.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.